Davey Moyes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Appropriate that Davey Moyes popped up then because we Everton are at home against Manchester United. Massive game. I mean, every game's big, but this is big for so many reasons, and we'll go through it. Of course, we have lined up an opposition fan. So he is in the studio, he's in the house and ready to be announced. And I can't wait to have him on. Not spoke to him before. Might like him, might not, but I think I will because the person that recommended him is a nice guy and he normally passes good people on. So we have got Andrew on the show, people, which we will introduce in a second. Paul, how are we doing? You okay?
Not too bad. As you can probably hear, I'm not in the best of health. I sound as though I've just come out of the ground after the derby the other week. So, I might have a bit of a husky voice tonight.
Nah, everyone loves a husky voice, of course they do. I mean, Paul, half an hour before the show, messages me saying, I can't come on the show. And then literally 5 minutes later, he's had a battle in his head saying, yeah, I will come on. I can't miss it. I've got to come on. And this is how addictive Toffee Bluecast is. And I'd like to think you listeners are the same. So do get involved. Get your comments in. And we want loads today. We really do. Because Everton fans are happy. So we want you to get involved and get it in. For anybody that's new, what we do, we would like to keep it nice and simple. We do have a format to keep it interesting. So what we do is we'll put the last 10 games of Man United on the screen, which Andrew is going to talk about when we get him on. Last 10 games of Everton on the screen to get a gist of the form. Andrew will make his lineup. We'll get that on the screen, what team he wants. We'll do our lineup, what we want. We'll put yours in the comments lineups on the screen. And then to finish off, we'll go head-to-head and have a Royal Rumble score prediction. Of course, we will, people. So, yeah, that is what we're going to do. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You keep talking about Andrew. Who is he? Get him on. Well, that's what I'm going to do, people. Andrew is... Hello, Andrew, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. So it's going to be a very good game tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be taking all 3 points back with us. But looking forward to being on the show.
Looking forward to having you, mate, and getting out what you've got. I can tell you're a Man United fan by the jumper and the Man United stuff behind you. Literally. Anybody that is worried about Man United's PSR should not be worried anymore because you've got as much Man United stuff as I have Everton stuff. I literally went through 5 tops before I come on thinking, shall I wear my yellow Everton top? No. Shall I wear my blue? No. You know what? I'm going to wear black. I'm going to go hardcore with the Everton top. So I've gone for this one. And we all wear the clobber, don't we? Of course we do.
Yeah, we do.
Right. So... Talk to me. I'm going to put your last 10 games on the screen.
Yeah.
How are you feeling as a United fan at this moment in time before I put these 10 games on?
I think it's a bit of a miserable time being a United fan at the moment, going to games and not seeing the greatest performances or the results we wanted. So it's frustrating in the stand, and you can see we're definitely backing the manager, Ruben Amorim. It's just we just want more from the players, and we know they can give more. But I can just sense, when things are not going well for us, unease comes in the crowd, and then I think that translates onto the players too as well. So, but yeah, it's not the best of time, but we're living in hope that things will turn around. But as I say, I think most of us can't wait for the Premier League season to be over, and we can just move on and start readjusting for the next season.
I am going to chuck a question on you before we go into form, and I feel like this needs to be spoke about before we look at form. New manager, just on your new manager, is it? There's loads of things it could be. Is it that the new manager's come in and it's his fault that you're playing like this? Is it the new manager's coming at the worst time ever because he's coming at a really bad time and that's why this is happening? What's your thoughts on the manager at the minute from you and what you're getting from your Man United fans?
I say Ruben's inherited a squad that I think is not capable of his system. He said he says, I'm trying to implement my system, my ideas. I'm not going to back down now, because if I do, that goes against every grain of my being. Because what was the point, of getting him here to do backtrack on his ideas? Because it's similar with Ten Hag. He had his own ideas, and then certain players or some players were getting frustrated or couldn't work with his system and said, we need to compromise. And that's being reported with some players now with Ruben's system. Oh, compromise is needed. But as he said, I'm working each week with him. I can't do everything within a week. I'm slowly but surely just getting through to those players. And some, by the, at the end of the season, going into next season, I'm not going to be here for that. So, as I say, he's going to move players on and bring in players that are going to fit his ideals, his system. So I think hopefully going into the future next season, it will be a lot more rosy for us. But it's not. Ruben's inherited, it's been a mess on the pitch, and say as well as off it as well. And say he's, like I say, he's saying all the right things to us, and he's been brutally honest with us. I think that one comment said, "Well, we could be the worst United team ever." And I'm like, looking at the way we've been playing, it's hard to argue, in his statements. So it's just like you say, he's trying his best, but it's just,
How much? I was just going to ask Andrew, how much leeway has he got? Because obviously he came in at sort of say 100, and then it's how much trust and everything else he's built with the fans while he's been there. Has it just been a gradual slide right down? Is he in the minority at the moment? Has he got fewer fans than people who want him out, or are they not really looking at him as a thing to change?
it depends what way you look at it. There's two. If you look at the match-going fans inside Old Trafford, like God, the last number of games we've been singing his name throughout the game. So we're definitely backing the manager. It's the players we're getting frustrated. Whereas you probably look online, there's those saying, Amorim's is trying to make changes, but others are like, well, nothing's improved. The players are getting worse, and some are arguing we want him out now. I remember having a conversation with a Philly United fan on the Orphan United channel during the chat, and I was saying, well, you want Amorim out now? Well, we don't want to get a new man. And he brings in his own ideas, wants his own players, and then 3 or 4 months down the line, we're in the same situation. We're not in the business of sacking managers. We are, say, amongst our fans, we're probably one of the most patient. We want to give managers a chance. Just, yeah. Yes, I did do that stuff earlier because I was like,
there was that.
Yeah, because I thought it was Dave Moyes' last game for us. I'm hoping we don't lose tomorrow, and if we did, it's not going to be Ruben's last game, because it depends what the owners, Sir Jim and Ineos and the guys, it's what they're thinking of. They've been brutal off the pitch, as we're hearing, like redundancies with staff, making changes to it every department, cost cutting, and just like with our Van Ashworth going a couple of months ago, and he only been there 4 months, and that cost us about $4 million to get rid of him. So just like, you never know how brutal they're going to be.
Yeah.
I was just going to say in the comments, there was, and I'll try and get your comments on as much as we can, so keep your comments coming in to make the show, to be fair. Do you think first of all, do you think he'll get sacked if you lose this game?
No. I'm still backing the manager. It's just, he needs time. But in football, and even managers said this, it's a results-based business. So,
what there's a comment that's saying he hasn't got a Scooby-Doo on how to manage in the Premier League. What do you think on that one?
There's other managers that have come from abroad and they've had not a Scooby-Doo, and and some have gone on to be successful, and some that haven't. So it's just how quickly can they adjust as well. Some take take to like a Dr. Wharton. Some might need a year or two to get the team the way they want and the players they want. But no, I was going to say we're still back in Ruben, and say us match going fans will still continue to do that.
I do. To be fair, when he first come in, I do rate him because he's got his style. With Manchester United, in my opinion, just from the outside, they live in Alex Ferguson's shadow. That they need to be something new, and I think they need a manager to come in who is just everything new, different, new himself. Yeah, just rip it away and just to make you forget about, and you'll never forget about Alex Ferguson. You'll always remember your history. But you need someone to come in and do something different now, so you talk about him as well. And I just think he's got a good style. He has got a really good style. I think he's possibly coming into one of the worst teams for that style. I'm not saying worst teams. I'm not disrespecting Man U, but I just think with you having a lot of slow centre-backs, it doesn't help his style by going free at the back. I mean, Everton knew that from when we've done it previous seasons when we did put Keane as your free centre-backs. I think you need fast centre-backs when you play the back three. And I think that could be snookering him a little bit because it's just one long ball over the top can do you. And I honestly do believe if you play three centre-backs, me and Paul have talked about it on the Toffee Bluecast, I believe two of them have got to be really fast. You can get away with, say, Tarkowski in the middle, but I believe two at the side of him have got to be really fast to cover long balls over the top or anything, etc. But I do believe he could be good. He hasn't got his players in yet, but it's just... Yeah. Is this style risky near the relegation line? So what we're going to do now, let's just get into it because we are kind of going into it. That's the league table. We'll look at that last. But Manchester United's last Premier League results, 10 games. I've just written this up earlier on and I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. I knew you wasn't doing that well. But I didn't think you were doing this bad. No, it's normally Everton with a lot of reds, but... yeah, you can see why you've gone down to a danger zone in the Premier League table now. I watched the Man U Manchester City game, and I think Manchester City was in control, and that comeback that you had was amazing. But Manchester City dominated a lot of that for the first 50, 60, but you had a great comeback. I thought that you might crack on after that. You probably thought that as well after winning a derby, but it's not happened, has it?
I actually did.
Talk to me on this, Andrew.
I was just saying, after the City game, I thought, we'll crack on, because we beat them in December. I thought, we'll have a good run through Christmas, but it just went completely, downhill, and we sort of had some respite. The 2-2 draw against Liverpool, I thought everybody expected us to get, well and truly annihilated by Liverpool. They was expecting another 7-0, but we went there with a game plan and we frustrated Liverpool. Arguably, we should have probably came away with a win. So the attacking moves we put together, we could have probably scored a bit more. But then we were happy in the end. We'll say we took a point out of them, and then got the win against Southampton. Luckily, Ahmad firing a hat-trick. Was it a 12-minute hat-trick? If I remember right, it was literally all after the 80th minute. We were just for 12 minutes, we were just on fire. But you just look at those games where we have lost. It's just in previous seasons or when we were winning more games, we'd expected to beat the likes of Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, even Palace. Palace was probably the most depressing game to watch at Old Trafford. It was we had a few chances in that first half to score, and then we just settled and slowed down and just gave us. You thought Palace were having a better chance, and soon as they scored, it was we know what's coming. Palace are going to sit back even more and then just counter us, and it was Mateta's their second goal they scored was well worth it. But one we used to do and we don't do anymore. And last weekend against Tottenham, I don't know why, I just thought it was Tottenham and we would get 3 points, but it wasn't the best game. But we just didn't take our chances, and Tottenham, our defensive mistakes cost us. Because you see when the shot came in, and then we all pushed out, and then Maddison was there to just pick up the loose ball and just hit it past Onana. I was like, someone should be aware of what's going on. But just, I like it. We're a team of individuals at the moment. We're just not together as a team, and it's a miserable time at the moment. And I'd say it's the hope kills, and each week our hope is diminishing. So just, as I said, it's almost like we're better in the cup competitions at the moment, and I'm just like, I'd say put more of the youngsters in the league games and give them a chance, because some of those first team are not giving their best performances this season.
The thing is, we've done shows like this for the last 2-3 seasons because we've been struggling in relegation battles, dealing with PSR, trying to build a new stadium to better ourselves, and we've had these stressful times, and I can see in you like, oh my days, you don't know what to say. We've had this, but it's weird to see a Man United fan go through it. It is, I'm not going to lie. And Everton, a big club, we've got a history and all that. Massive football club, got a history, but we haven't done what you've done more recent. Do you know what I mean? And the downfall is massive, isn't it? I mean, Manchester United in a relegation battle is crazy. And I say in a relegation battle, you might not be, but you are around that zone at the minute.
And if we don't pick up any points tomorrow, then we could slip further down the table. So
yeah,
if I'm thinking Wolves like 10 behind. I think they're 10 behind us, but
the thing is though, when I look at your games, as you've said, Manchester City, hard game, you turn up, you beat them. Liverpool, they're shit, but a hard game, I get it. You drew against them, you turned up. Southampton, you played well against a poor team, which you haven't done sometimes here. And then Fulham, a good team as well. They're massively informed when you played them. You turned up and did well against Fulham. But then Tottenham, I'm looking at that. We just recently beat Tottenham. Crystal Palace, we've just recently beat Crystal Palace. And you've only just recently played them as well. So we played them round about the same time. And we've beaten Brighton as well. We've played very similar teams looking at this, Paul. We've just beat Brighton as well. So it's not like you played informed teams, is it, either? Because not taking nothing away from us, these wasn't teams at the top smashing it. And it's bad results against teams that you should be doing better. But it's interesting. It's a lot of red, and it's not Man United. So you are going to have a big pickle here, I tell you, Andrew. I'm feeling for you here. I'm proud to put this on the screen. Paul, talk to me. This is Everton's form, and when we had Sean Dyche, it was orange and red, orange and red, orange and red. And David Moyes come in at that Aston Villa game, didn't really implement anything on the Aston Villa game, but he had his say on the Tottenham game, the Brighton game, the Leicester game, Derby, and Crystal Palace. And David Moyes has been... He's got grey hair, and we don't care. David Moyes. Paul, talk to me.
It's nice, isn't it? It's like a before and after picture.
Yeah, it does feel good.
Beforehand, we weren't looking very good, probably like me tonight. And then suddenly David comes in. He's been in a day when we play Villa, but now it's all green and a great night. Me and Andrew were talking before the show started about the derby and stuff, and he's looking much better. So very much a before and after with me and Dan. I'm very much kind of this level up to the red and the orange, and then Dan carries it on with all the green and the draw. So I have done. I have been on the Dyche gravel. So if you want me to sing anything, let me know.
I know we just can't get rid of Dyche, can we? I was happy not to see him again. And all of a sudden, Paul's brought him back in the house. Probably still got his videos.
It's the ghost of Dyche. Ghost of Dyche is in me.
He's got the croak. But I'm really proud. When I was typing that up, I was like, really proud of putting the greens in. I'm not going to lie, because I've been writing we do this where we write the games and the results every show now. And I didn't like. I can remember Emma and Lulu saying, "Don't put ours up, put theirs up, but don't put ours up," because ours was humiliating. But now to get something that we're actually proud of is really good. And it was really interesting to David Moyes in the press conference say, I'm at that point now where I'm thinking, is it a manager bounce, or I really hope it isn't a manager bounce, David Moyes has said. He said, I don't want it to be a manager bounce. I want it to be, this is what we're doing now. We're going to be, we change. We're new. We're going to get my Everton back. That's what David Moyes was basically saying in the press. And I don't believe that is a manager bounce. I really don't. Because I do believe we're getting better and better and better. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself, because if we do lose and then we lose a few, it clearly was a manager bounce. But I think we're at that point now where we're thinking to ourselves, please show me it's not a manager bounce and that this is the new Everton and that we're going to win the Premier League next season with that form. So I'm excited. Andrew, what do you think on us now with the David? Oh, you know David Moyes, don't you? Because you took him off us when we was like doing okay.
Yeah, we did. And unfortunately, it didn't last very long. So only 7 months we had him for, and then got rid of him after Everton beat United. But I say he's done a brilliant job so far on his second spell. I mean, Everton, Messiah. As I say, you were staring at the prospect of relegation on yourselves like weeks ago, but since he's been back in the dugout, your form has just seen an upturn, and so you find yourselves above us as well. So to say that's that, above us since the 2013-14 season. So, but and I think the other stat I read earlier, he's picked up the most points in the league than any other manager, with 13 points in the last 6 games. So, compared with Sean Dyche, who only won 3 of the U19 league games. So the good form continued last week with that away win at Palace. And Palace at Selhurst Park, it's always a tricky game. We've always found it hard to go and get a result there. So I was like, watching it, I was like, Everton are looking really good and really taking it to Palace, because I thought, that could be one where you might get a point or slip up there. So, but
I think we think that it's coincided with him actually giving a couple of people a go, like Lindstrom, like O'Brien, especially. James Garner's come back at that point as well. So we do feel as though it's little changes that he's done that's helped us out. And it's good to see. I mean, I'm not saying that we're shutting out every single game, but we're still quite good defensively, even scoring now, which is a massive thing. Absolutely massive.
I was going to say, just on David Moyes, sometimes I just don't think he gets the credit for what he's done in his managerial career. Okay, it didn't work out at United, and maybe he was the right manager, and it was just the wrong time, because how do you follow somebody like Sir Alex Ferguson, and other managers since David Moyes have struggled as well. So, but you look at David Moyes at West Ham, what he did there as well, and some of those West Ham fans still didn't like the way they played and everything. I thought he managed to get the West Ham team to win a European trophy, and you've got to give him a lot of credit for what he's done in his career, and in his first spell at Everton, what he did as well. So I know he would have found it difficult to leave Everton, and he's leaving on to go on to United, and it obviously didn't work out. But as he said, that experience made him an even better manager. So I just think sometimes maybe he doesn't get the credit he should do for what he's done.
He never, and I can't even, me, like a lot of Everton fans as well, when he was going to come back, we thought, we'll have him as last option, but we want better. That's what we was probably thinking when we got David Moyes, a lot of us, is that he'll be better than Dyche. He's better than Dyche, but we want better than David Moyes. We'd only get him for 1 year because we want a lot better than him. And then he's come in and you think, he has got something about him. Like, you do think, wow, we underestimated what he was. And then you think back, like, he always got us fifth, sixth position, top 4 sometimes, with no budget at all. And then you start to get those feelings back when he's saying, I'm going to get you decent again, and I'm going to get you back to what I had you before in a couple of seasons. And you take that, you snap your hands off at that now, being where we've been, to get back to top half of the table because Moyes is going to have a low budget, so it's going to take him time. And I just think now, I'm thinking, I should have been more interested in David Moyes, because he's a perfect outfit, because we haven't got loads to spend. We've got to work our way up slowly, and he gets the best out of some shy players. Like when he first went to Man United, I think when he got that Man United move after Ferguson, I think he's gone into a team that have got a lot of egos. And I think when he's gone to the team of Everton, when he had the team of Everton, he built that team. So his players didn't have egos. He had players that looked up to him and that he made. So Tim Cahill from Millwall, the Championship, Carlsley from Derby County, the Championship. He had all these players that he built up to be something really good, but got so much respect from. So he could play these players exactly how he wanted them. They respected him and did exactly what he wanted. For me, when he went to Manchester United after Ferguson, straight away, he just hasn't got Ferguson's name for me. And I think probably a big reason, just my opinion, why he wasn't so successful is because a lot of people, like you say, probably looked down on him and thought, you're not that much of a big name. That's just my opinion anyway. What's your thoughts on that, Andrew?
I was going to say, maybe when Moyes came to us, and I know he implemented a lot of change, but maybe he should have done it more slowly. Because obviously, he wanted to bring in his own coaching team, so he didn't want to keep any of the coaching team, Fergie left behind. And maybe there was certain players that thought, "Oh, we do things this way, not that way," and just maybe there was some reticent. And I mean, it did start all right under Moyes, but then it sort of tailed off, and then it was just like, you could just see it every game. It was just like the pressure, coming down on him, and you could see it in like the post-match interviews as well. It was just like, Manchester United's a big club and it can weigh heavy on players and managers, and you just like, I said, my dad's, he said to me, about Moyes, well, maybe he should have come a year before to United and been under Fergie. I thought, well, what manager's going to go from being a manager to being an assistant? And I was like, he wasn't going to do that. I was just almost like trying to learn about the club for a year. I was just like, that would never work. So, same, Moyes had his own ideas, but just like anything, it wasn't probably given the time. And I just think when Everton beat them and Champions League qualification was out the window, it was like Edward went, well, that's it. And I think that 7-year contract was, maybe we shouldn't have given, like most managers, get about 3 or 4 years, contract, whereas I think we wanted to give that stability into all 7 years. He's got all this time, but it was just like, it was almost like when it went against him, really, and just like everything was heightened, the defeats, when things weren't going as well. So it just, it's just, as I said earlier, probably one of the right managers, just the wrong time. So just unfortunate, in the way it worked out for him.
It was always going to be, I think, any manager probably that come into Manchester United after Alex Ferguson was probably going to fail. I think it was always going to be hard to come in under his shadow after what Ferguson did and gave to those Manchester United fans. I don't think no one could come in and give them the same. So it was always going to be a fail, I think. And it's just going to be interesting to see what you just need something new. Like I said, I think you need to make a new style, a new Man United. It's going to be interesting to see how you go about it. Right, this is the Premier League table. And it's mad, this, isn't it? I still can't believe I can see you there. And 15th, I mean, we've had loads of wins that we've just gone above you, looking to go above Tottenham. And I've had some arguments with Everton fans because they're not happy with me saying that we can get 4th position. 4th position. Okay, 4th space. Well, I've written this up and I don't know, when we do the league table, we normally go from 20th to about, we probably go to about, cut it off at about 10th or something like that. We don't get to the top part above that. But I've made sure I've got all the way all in today, Paul, because I want you to see, and Everton fans to see, that if we do finish strong and start winning, all we do is win. That's what we got. If we start doing that all the time, we're not that many points, Like, I'm going to ask a Man U fan now. Where do you think, Andrew, and I'll ask you, Paul, where do you think we could finish this season? Looking at that.
Go on, Andrew, you go.
I was going to say,
be evil on me. I don't care. Be evil. I don't care.
You're closer to the top 4 than you are relegation. So just think with this Premier League season, it's been so unpredictable. Teams that you thought would be near the top four are not there. And you like the looks of Bournemouth. I would have never suspected them to be at 5th in this stage of the season. But it's like, and even, Fulham as well. So they're, in good form as well. So let's say Moyes can continue this good run of form. Hopefully not tomorrow. I mean, after that, and then anything can happen in the Premier League season. But I swear it will get you climbing up. I will say you finish in the top half of the league, but maybe can you make that 14-point gap on City? I don't know. But then again, City have been up and down.
I get it. I get it. I'm just getting excited. I'm getting excited. Paul, what do you think? Top 4, yeah?
You are getting excited. There's what are we? There's
Brentford did win tonight, by the way.
13 games left. 13 games left. So straight away, then 39 points. As long as the other teams don't beat each other, then we've got a slight chance if we win every game.
So if we get, so we're on 30. If we get 39 points, that's 69 points. Do you think that could see us top 4?
I could see it us being a little bit higher than we are. If we won every game, 60 odd points, we'd have your top half. But God, us being top half, everyone would have snapped your hand off.
Yeah, I am getting a bit greedy. But you know what? Just realise this, right? It's not me getting cocky or greedy. It's me just focusing now that I do not want to fall. I want to just keep focusing on looking up. As David Moyes says, stay positive. If I look up and we don't get, and we just keep pushing and we try and get higher and higher, that's just only going to benefit us, That's what you've got to do in this position. You don't want to fall. You just want to push up. And I think if you set your bar really high, the higher you set your bar, the better standard you're going to be. And you've just got to really push and see where we can get. I'd be really happy if we finish 10th this season after what's gone on under Sean Dyche. But I still haven't got my eyes off that Manchester City spot on 44 points, so I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at it. It's very appealing. And what a season it would be, Paul. I can't... Give me a team now that can beat Everton Football Club right now with David Moyes.
No one.
Can you think of anyone that could beat us, Andrew?
Not on your current form. Let's say he's got you bouncing, so I'm just like,
Yeah, I like it. Andrew's being nice to us on the show, people. Please be the positive.
Anybody can beat anybody, so...
But that is the thing. I just can't think of anybody that can beat us at the minute. I think we played the derby, and I think, we drew. You know what I mean? We'll probably beat you the next derby. Manchester City not in form. Your teams like Man United and Spurs not that good this season. Chelsea not that good this season. I'm not scared of no one. I really ain't. I think that's the way you've got to be if you're going to push up the table. You need that sort of confidence, and I do believe we have got that confidence at the minute. And I want to just continue it because another big test. I wanted a test last game, and I think Crystal Palace massively informed was a test. A real informed team in Crystal Palace was a test. We went to their ground, we beat them. Now we've got a different test. We are playing the biggest bogey team I have ever frigging known us to play in Manchester United because I hate playing them. And I already put it on X. I was more scared of this game, Andrew, than what I was of the derby. I'm not even lying because I'm just Martial goals against us in my head, even though he don't play for you anymore. Fernandes scoring headers against us when he's about 5 foot tall. I've got so many bad flashbacks of Man U. Sigurdsson sitting down and a goal being disallowed. I don't like to scare people.
Yeah,
I don't.
Remember that one. But yeah,
it's been some cracker.
I was going to say, it's always a tough game at Goodison. We never find it easy to go there and pick up the points. And so there's been some great games over the years, and just to say, I think we could make it 3. If we go there tomorrow and win, we'll make it 3 wins in a row at Goodison. So it should be nice to get. But say, like last season, there's a lot of attention on Everton because of that 10-point deduction. So, United was the first game after that, and there's like all the protests, and then, but we soon silenced it with, Garnacho's overhead kick that just, I think, stunned everybody, and then
stunned himself.
Yeah, I was like, when the cross hit, I thought he's not going to try that, is he? And then it was just like, we just all went staring shock that he just
This
did.
is what scares me about you a little bit.
To keep watching the replays, like he did actually do that. But yeah, it's had a good run of form at Goodison Park late, and I'm hoping it's going to stay like that. But let's say, Everton players are going to be physical, up in our faces, and we've got to match it as well. Because if we don't, then I hate to say, we're going to get picked apart.
I did give Andrew a couple of digs, and I did put his results on the screen. That probably hurt him a little bit. And then he straight away chucks a Garnacho overhead kick, which hurt me as well, by the way. It hurt me. I wanted to forget about that. Yeah. But he's throwing punches. He is throwing punches, people. And Manchester, it is a massive game. It's a massive game for us moving up the table, or Manchester United moving up the table. It really, I can't tell you how big when I put that league table up there, look. It really is. It's the difference between, cracking on and not cracking on. It's massive, it gets us to 33 points. Which takes us 1 point off what Brentford. I think I said Brentford won, but we're not far away then. 37. We really can crack on. If we win our 2 more games, I'd say relegation battle is finished. We're not even in a relegation battle. It's impossible. So yeah, let's do this. Right, I have got people. Get your lineups in, your Everton lineups. If you've got a Man U one, put it in. We want to see your Man U lineup because I should have, all being well. Andrews lineup. Here we go. Let's put it on the screen, see if I've done it right. There we go. Could be right, could be wrong. Is that your lineup, Andrew?
Yeah, that's my lineup, yeah.
Have you gone for what you want, or have you gone for generally what you think you're going to get?
It's more generally what I think we're going to get. I think that's pretty much the same side as last week against Tottenham. With the injuries we've got, and like Everton, they have a number of injuries as well, but I think it's just going to put out the same side. To be fair, against Tottenham, we did create chances. We weren't clinical enough in front of goal, that's been our concern all season. Højlund, he's like on a 15-goal drought, so he's gone 15 league games without a goal, and Xerxes like 12 at the moment in league games. I think his last goal, funnily enough, in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford, so that was his last goal. But yeah, that's like I say, Garnacho, like last week, he missed an excellent chance to put us like 1-0 up against Tottenham and blazed it over the bar. I'm just like, we're creating some things, but it's the attack where I don't know why it's not doing more. I'm just like, I presume in the summer we'll get a new striker in, so Højlund needs help because he can't put it on all his shoulders, because when we bought him, I knew he wasn't the finished article yet, so I thought you need...
Isn't Xerxes, or whatever his name is, isn't Xerxes your new striker, though?
See, I don't know where's it. That's what I'm trying to work out, is where his best position, but I don't think he's an out-and-out forward. See, he's great, holding up the ball, pressing the players, and then, getting the ball to his teammates. But I think the one thing is that sometimes he just lacks the necessary pace. He's not the quickest of players, and I'm just like, which kind of reminds me, well, I don't know whether this is a bad comparison, like Martial sometimes, just like run a bit faster, please. But Xerxes is different in other ways to a Højlund, but Højlund's just devoid of form at the moment. I think the game against Leicester in the FA Cup, his first touch, it felt like he had lead boots on. It just like the ball just went away from him. I was like, yeah, Beto is in form at the moment. I think it's 7th goal of the season last week against Palace. So I feel like if we start Beto tomorrow, then yeah, we might be able to stop some goals going in. But yeah, I do feel for Rasmus at the moment. So it's just, yeah, I think get a goal and that'll boost his confidence.
Paul chucked on form there too. I mean, we never dreamed, by the way, that we'd be putting Beto up with that sort of form. That's form that's happened in the last 3-4 games. It's crazy how football can take a turn. This is why I was a little bit frustrated with Sean Dyche, because I think Moyes has come in and played O'Brien, who Sean Dyche didn't give a chance, and he's been sensational right back out of position. He's also played Lindstrom, who's been decent right wing, and then he's also played Beto. And I'm not going to lie, I think he would have chose Calvert-Lewin over Beto. So I'm not going to give him full credit for that, David Moyes, because I think he preferred Calvert-Lewin. But Beto's come in and he's grabbed this chance, and I'm glad I know better person to get this chance than Beto and to be doing what he's doing. It's going to be really interesting. I'm going to chuck it on you now, and this is normally Paul's question, but it's a good one, so I always use it. Where are you scared of us hurting looking at that? Where you're looking at somewhere and thinking, oh, we could be a little bit buggered here if Everton attack that area? And which player do you think could hurt us?
It's probably in the midfield. It's like that's where this season where opposition are able to play through us, and exploit those spaces. And I'll be interested to see how your new player Alcaraz does as well, because he scored last week as well. And I think he's came in for Decore, but Decore's now back after his suspension. So does Moyes go back to Decore or keep Alcaraz in? I just think Decore might find it a bit hard to get back in the 11 because Alcaraz has had such a good start. So, but he'll be the interesting one to see. So it's the midfield battle. I feel like if you win that, then you're going to probably win the game. So it's just all our players have got to be on it, especially in that midfield. But we're so threadbare at the moment. So I know Ngate, Ericsson and Collier are back, but how fit they are to start the game is another question. So I think we might see them on the bench, but not to start. So it's that midfield is a bit threadbare at the moment with everything going on. But yeah, that's where I think it's going to be one.
Yeah, well, you have got injuries, but I've said this about Everton now. When we've had a little moan about our injuries, everybody's got injuries. Like everybody has, and I think we've just got to accept it, haven't we?
Yeah, deal with the cards we've been dealt with. So that's like last week when we put I think we had Victor Lindelof as the only senior player on the bench. All the rest were academy players. But the only thing I was frustrated about last week's defeat against Tottenham was like, you could have brought some of the academy players on sooner. They would have been fighting to, get on and, try and change the game for us. But that was the only, thing I could have a go against Amorim about. But other than that,
we're the same. We've got academy players on. We've got injuries, but at the end of the day, I think this is the time of the season where I think you are going to have bodies out. But it's about team spirit and pulling together and just getting results. And when you look at your team, I know you've got players missing, but you look at our team, we're pulling together. We ain't got the best bloody names in the world when you look at our team, but we're pulling together and getting results. And we're not always the best team on paper, but we're still picking up results. And I think when you've got like Fernandes, Casemiro, Garnacho, Maguire, I think you still should be getting results. I don't think it's an excuse, and some people make it as one, in my opinion. Paul, he mentioned midfield is where he feels he could be weak. What would you get at? Would you agree with him?
Well, I would say they've got a lot of wide players. I've just picked this off X, which is similar side to what Andrew's saying. You tell us if this is more likely to be true, Andrew, where those players would generally spend most of their game. You kind of got these guys generally are going to be wide players. You got Casemiro in that middle. He throws himself around, obviously. Fernandes is sort of all over, almost free roll at some points, looking at the games that they've had previous. So that middle of the pitch, it looks sparse. I think if you were to get the better of us, it would be in those wide areas, but not bigging up us too much. The lads who are playing fullback at the moment and the lads in front of them have been doing quite well. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'll jinx it and I'll say Højlund, I don't think is confident, is quick enough. He's struggled really, and generally it's because
he's not been given service. But you've got decent players there. They're just not playing as a team. That's probably our strength at the moment, like Dan just said, is that we've not got amazing stars, but we're more of a team now than we have been for a little while. So if we can keep that unit together and we can defend as a team, and then we can be expansive and we can be quick going forward, then we've got half a chance. We've got half a chance. I think it's a shame that United have weighed so heavily on Casemiro. I mean, there's a couple of lads who are out for you, which is obviously a shame. So, that might change in future games. But if this was the team that came out tomorrow, I wouldn't be disappointed. I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, I was going to say the interesting one is where they put Dorgu and Ngate. I'm just like, Ngate's more in the middle of the pitch. Right. He's the one trying to trap the danger, and put the tackles in and get us moving. So Dorgu has been bought as a left wing back, so I can sort of understand him being further up, but I didn't expect him to be like so far up and easy to start with. I thought he'd be at the back, then move forward. So I mean, if that comes out tomorrow like that and we win, I'll be like, well, let's say the manager's there to pick a team that can win. So if it's like that, let's say fair play.
It's interesting because you said through the middle, and because I'm not a Man United fan, I was thinking, really in the middle? I straight away I was thinking get Maguire or someone like that. But when you look in the middle, you can see you are exposed through the middle. If you're one player out of position, there makes it one centre midfielder, doesn't it, to get past? And that's going to be an interesting battle because we are quite strong in the middle now. We are as well. I have got. Do you know what, Paul? I'm going to put. I've got the Everton our lineup. Get your lineups in, people.
Go for it.
I reckon, Paul. We're going to agree on this without even. Are you ready?
Go for it. Shock me.
So this is our lineup. I reckon me and Paul. This is the good thing about David Moyes. When we used to have him back in the day, always used to be the same team all the time, like same 11, same 11, same 11, same 11. And I think we're getting to that point now with a lot of people not putting their lineup in last time, that the lineup is becoming the same. And this, I believe, Paul, if it's wrong, we'll change it. I believe this is just going to be your lineup, Paul.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense because the people who would be ahead of any of those players aren't fit, really. The only ones that you would think about would be as Scar saying Decore. Decore. But it was I mean, that's the one change. That's the only decision to be made. He said, like JT said, the decision to be made between starting Charlie or Dukes. So, I mean, personally, personally, I'd have Charlie. I also understand from another view that you could go with Dukes, but I just think Charlie's full of confidence. He's happy. He did an assist and a goal in the last game. What more do you want him to do? He seems to be on a good wavelength with Beto, which is a miracle that anyone's on a wavelength with Beto. So I don't see how you wouldn't utilize that.
But this seems to be the big question at the minute, doesn't it, Paul? And you've hit the nail on the head. And I think even Andrew mentioned it earlier on as well, which I think it is the big question. So let us know in the comments now. Who would you? I know some people are already letting us know. Who would you pick? It was my biggest dilemma when I did this lineup, by the way, is do I go Decore or do I go Alcaraz? And it's a hard one because Decore's done nothing wrong. He scored in 10 seconds against Leicester and got us going, and we won that game against Leicester. He's not as technical in some positions, but he closes down a lot of space. I haven't got a big problem with Decore, and if he played, I wouldn't cry about it. I really wouldn't. But against a team like Manchester United, who have always had shit houses like Fernandes against us, who does my head in, by the way. I like you, Andrew, but I don't like Fernandes. But you want a shit house in your team, so of course you do. I want us to have a shit house. I want Alcaraz to be a shit house against Man United, where he's just going to... You need someone that's going to tear him up a little bit. And I do believe Alcaraz has got that character that I could tell straight away by Andrew shaking a little bit when he spoke about him, that's going to put fear into the opposition. So I'm Alcaraz all the way. Paul, you Alcaraz?
Oh yeah, it's not even a contest. I mean, I would imagine that any opposition fan at the moment, if they see that our front line is Decore and Beto, you know, they're not going to be that terrified. Beto's going through a great spell at the moment, but almost all of his goals have been the first touch is the shot, or one touch then a shot, and you've got to be able to get those passes into those positions, and that's what Alcaraz did. I'm not convinced that Decore would have done that against Palace. Do you know what I mean? It's just that simple stuff like that, and Charlie will keep the ball a lot better than Decore. He might not win as many headers. I mean, that's saying that Decore wins lots of headers. I'm not even sure he does. But I just think, why change it at the moment? It would not make any sense to do so.
It's really interesting, though, because David Moyes, when Decore wasn't available after that derby, was really angry about it and said we needed Decore for the next game. So I find it really interesting. I wouldn't kick. I know everyone's going to want Alcaraz. Everyone thinks he's the James Rodriguez, and I'm with you. I think he is as well, and we do want to see him. But I wouldn't get bothered if he does pick Decore, because Moyes knows what he's doing. Andrew, what do you think on this topic?
I'd say from that lineup, well, thinking what lineup would Everton go in, I thought is exactly what you put up on the screen as well. I just think Alcaraz would be in ahead of Decore. So there is one other name on that team sheet, isn't it? That's James Garner, who used to play for us. So in some ways, I wish we'd never sold him. I wish he'd have been given more of a chance, but like he'll want to prove a point tomorrow as well. It's like, well, this is how good I can be as well. And so, yes, one player. So we probably do miss, but Alcaraz, you know, Argentinian says, from what I read about him, he's quite a feisty character and can be a bit hot-headed, but, you know, that's what sometimes you want in play, you know, to really go at the opposition. But say, from what say, he's intelligent with his off-the-ball movements, you know, to go with all of his effort as well. So he's the one player I'm just having a little bit of fear about now. And I'm just like, please don't play well tomorrow. And United managed to snuff out anything that he's trying to do. But say, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays tomorrow. But yeah, as I said, it's probably the expected lineup from Everton.
Also, I was just going to point out as well, Alcaraz being Argentinian, Casemiro's Brazilian, isn't he?
Yes.
There you go.
You don't get on.
Yeah. Yeah, was it last season when we was playing Chelsea away and was it Casemiro and Enzo Fernandez were having a ding-dong and I thought it was going to be a punch-up there and the way they were going on, but they didn't. But yeah, so yeah,
Let's
be a bit of a ding dong tomorrow then.
James Garner was injured and he's just come back and he looks quite decent, to be fair. He's had to get sharp quick. We've rushed him back in and he looks quite decent. I've got a little thing here and I've only just thought of it right now, but let's try it. Often stuff goes wrong. In the comments, let us know if you can think of anyone. I'm going to go me, then I'm going to go Andrew, then I'm going to go Paul, then it goes back to me, then it goes Andrew, then it goes Paul, then it goes back to me, then it goes Andrew, then it goes Paul, until someone doesn't know, right? So it can be a player, but it doesn't have to be a recent one. It can be a player at any time that's played for Man United and Everton, right? So I'll start, Andrew, then Paul, then back to me, and we'll keep going. Right, I'm going to start with James Garner, who we've just spoke about.
Andrei Kanchelskis.
Good one. Paul.
Ashley Young.
Michael Keane.
Louis Saha.
Morgan Schneidlin.
Philip Neville.
Trying to think who's played for Marouane Fellaini.
Good one. Well,
Lukaku.
Tim Howard.
No, my knowledge is fading.
Irish centre midfielder. Irish centre midfielder, Man United. We had him off you.
So much for knowing my history of United.
Well, it's not even that far back. Gibson, I was thinking.
Darren Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, it's not another one. Morgan Schneiderlin. We had him off you, didn't we, as well?
Said that.
Yeah, he did. He
Did anyone
didn't.
say that?
Did you? Yeah, he said that one. Yeah, I couldn't think
Why
of
didn't I
anymore.
say Wayne Rooney?
Wayne Rooney. Did we say Wayne Rooney? Did no one say Wayne Rooney?
Wayne Rooney.
What the heck?
The biggest name at both clubs. And
I remember when we used to have David Moyes used to, because Man United was that good, Moyes used to love a player from Man United because Moyes used to think like Man United's mentality. If you get a player from there, their personality would mentor all the Everton players and get them to a really good standard. And he did it with Philip Neville. Philip Neville was when Man United was at that peak with the Keanes and the Gary Nevilles and stuff, David Moyes knew if you get someone out, use them as a mentor to all of them around him. And I think that's what we did with Philip Neville. I think Moyes got Philip Neville and he took what his personality and standard was and he goes to the Everton players, right, you push to that standard, and Philip Neville ended up a captain for us. Yeah, so a good little bit of fun there, people. I've seen loads of people getting involved in the comments. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. That is our lineup. Paul, are we weak anywhere? I don't think we're weak, are we? Maybe.
We haven't changed anything. The only change was because, that's a good one. Well done, Clarkey. Whiteside. The only change was Njai not being able to play, Harrison going on the left, which actually we probably wouldn't have done it. We probably wouldn't have gone and put out Jack on that left-hand side, which loads of people have said that he'd always be more comfortable on that left. So it makes sense. That is a balanced three in behind Beto, I reckon. Defensively, we're a unit. That six are doing really well at the moment, and we can pick out a pass. It can honestly go. I don't think a few people who are sort of saying that we're favourites and all that sort of stuff.
I hate that. Paul.
Only on current form. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. But when it's games like this or it's the derby and things like that, some of it almost goes out the window, to be fair. I just think that we've got lads who are happy with the manager and are confident. And our weaker players are doing it at the moment. I think maybe the weaker players in United's team, for the United weaker, they're not pulling their weight as much as they should be doing, but everyone seems to be pulling their weight with us. So referee's going to be key. It'll just be those moments, really, those set piece moments, those defensive minds really just being concentrated. And hopefully we've got lads who are switched on with an early kickoff. Could go either way, really.
The biggest thing I've learned in football this season is that just winning that one game, you're all looking for that spark of momentum, because I think people don't realise that the biggest thing in football is confidence. It really is. Confidence is massive. Even you see like Haaland that didn't have much confidence this season, a striker like him, and he looked poor. And you see him get hat tricks last season, 4 goals last season. I know you won't like me using Haaland as an example, Man United fan, but I'm just saying confidence this season changed him completely. Confidence is massive. It really, and that Diallo that's just gone out for you, injured, his confidence was sky high. And I think one win, Manchester United could be looking at this and say, win this, win, get out of trouble. start again next season. I think that's going to be the aim for Manchester United now. And for us as well, we're thinking just keep this confidence. Where can this confidence take us? Football is confidence. And it's so bloody hard to get it. And I think because it's so hard to get, because there's 20 teams in the Premier League that are searching for it, when you do get it, you've got to keep it as long as possible. That's the thing. And that's what we've got to do. And I'm pretty sure Manchester United will be massively hunted for confidence. Paul, get the lineups on that people have gone for, and then we'll do the score predictions, people. Been a really good show. This is. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. I should say at the start, but I get that excited on the show when we've got a guest on that I didn't. So do hit the like and subscribe. What have we got, Paul? Lineups.
Yeah. Go on. You go through it, and I'll get the other one.
Yeah, Paul doesn't want to use his. I don't know whether your voice is going to be Sean Dyche, Tom Jones, or Deirdre from
Coronation Street.
Coronation Street, Deirdre.
And I'm the
I think you said, you really. I was thinking in my head, it sounds like we've got someone famous on the show, and I was thinking Deirdre, Coronation Street. But I don't think you'll appreciate that. I think you'll prefer the David Hasselhoff or Tom Jones. But
I'm available for voiceover work. Just let us know.
Well, I am looking at that back door, waiting for Ken to walk in. I'm telling you. Right, my team is big as O'Brien. I make myself laugh if I don't. Otherwise, I'm free as well, by the way. Tarkowski, Brownfreight, Miko, Garner, Gay, Alcaraz, Harrison, Lindstrom, Beto, onwards and upwards. The same as ours, isn't it, that one? Yeah. Like it. I knew Nick Carr went the same as me. He's on the spaces all the time. Love you, Nick Carr. Shout out to you. Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Brownfreight, Mikolenko, Gay, Garner, Lindstrom, Alcaraz, Harrison, and Beto. Exactly what we've got there. So that's when you know things are starting to get good, when fans are liking what the manager's doing and your team picks itself. Lord Pickford, Serge. Oh, he's gone posh here. Sir Jake. Probably talking. He knows I can't read, so I don't know why he's going two big words. God Brownfreight, Ukrainian Maldini, Mikolenko, Sir Jimmy. Get glasses on here. Sir Jimmy of Tranmere, King Garner, Prince Lindstrom, right wing, Jack Harrison. He's only give Jack Harrison a normal name, a bit harsh on him when he's coming out with the Spanish. You know what I mean? I would have called him. What's a Spanish name for Jack? Like, Jack Silver or something, or Jack.
That's a bit French.
Jack Benio. Who's a Spanish player I was trying to think of?
James Harrison.
Jack Big Ass. I'm going to call him Jack Big Ass. No, Jack Big Ass is not good. Fabregas, Jack Big Ass. Right. So, Jack, you distracted me there. Argentine, God Charlie, central attacking midfield, and he's gone for Beto up top. Beto the Bull is what I say. Have I got it? I like that one. Give me another one, Paul. Let me just have a look to see if I've got it. I have actually got a picture of Beto last game, if I can find it. Carry on. I'll let you read one out, and you did reverse, Paul, and I'll find this picture. Audio score prediction.
I wouldn't do that to you. No, everyone's got the same. Everyone's got the same, and I don't even think it's because we've got the opportunities to put other people in. It's just there's maybe one difference. You got maybe a Rubenham could come in the middle, but Garner are bossing it. So that's what's happened. If you win your games, if you get good results, you play well, then the team stays the same generally.
I didn't have my picture. It was Beto as a bull. I edited Beto into a bull because he's an absolute bull. But I didn't have the picture, which was gutting. Right. So we are at the big moment now. I mean, to be fair, Andrew's been boss. We do get boss. We just hit jackpots on people on the show, and we do get good people on. And Andrew's been decent, but this is where we're going to fall out, people. This is score prediction time. And I know you're probably thinking, what the heck has that music got to do with score prediction? Well, I like to get a heart pumping a little bit, you know what I mean? It's a big moment, score prediction, get us ready. I don't want dull, boring scores, 0-0, so I like to get a bit of a boom going. Here we are. Right. Order we're going to go for is... Andrew, what order do you think we should go? Paul first or me first?
You first.
Oh, bloody
I'm having
hell,
too
I want to
much
save
fun
the
with the
best till last,
comments.
you know what I mean? I want to save the best till last. Me first, then Andrew, then Paul to finish it with the Deirdre. Right, let's go. I'm going to go for. I say you're joking. I found myself so funny. My brain goes off. And God, Deirdre, Coronation Street. I'm on set. Right, here we go.
First.
My score prediction. I haven't even planned it. I am going to go for. I hate this game, by the way. Let me just point that out. I know Man United are in really bad form, but they've still got players that are shithouses against Man U, like Fernandes, the overhead kick Garnacho. They don't forget stuff like that. So we've got to put that to bed. If we can get this, if we can beat Man U, then top four is possible, I'm telling you, because they're a bogey team for us. I'm going to go for 3-1 Everton. I'm going to go for your goal scorer is going to be, because Paul says he's crap, I'm going to go you striker.
My fault.
I think he'll score. The Danish lad. Yeah, I'm going to go for him. He's going to probably score the first goal just to get Paul scared. And then I'm going to go. Beto is going to score for us. I'd love to see Lindstrom finally get a goal. And I'm not going to lie, I want Braithwaite to score against Man United just for all the kerfuffle, the transfer window of Man United getting Braithwaite. I wouldn't mind him scoring the last goal and just celebrating to the Man United fans saying, you didn't get me and you said I was crap and I'm only worth 30 million. So I would like that. That's my score prediction. Paul, yours is coming in a minute. Andrew, I'm interested to see what you're going to come up with here.
Yeah, I was going to say Everton have been in resurgent form since Moyes has come back. So you're away from the relegation zone now, but to say we want to avoid another defeat in the Premier League because we don't want to be sliding down that table even more. So we've just got to be clinical in our attack tomorrow. But I just feel like you're going to make it tough for us. And I don't know, I feel like it's going to be that game like we won against Fulham weeks ago where Martinez scored the only goal. So if we can nick all 3 points, I'll take a 1-0 win tomorrow and Bruno to score the winning goal.
Me then, Dan.
Right, that is his score prediction. Paul, at least you've gone positive. You didn't go draw. I think the last Man U one we had on said that it was going to be a draw, and he beat us. So.
Yeah. I think we'll win. I think just because we've got another flag display lined up. It's on telly. Sometimes early kickoffs can be slow starting. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be surprised if we were particularly slow. The way that we're playing and feeling at the moment, they all look good in training as well, going off those videos. So I do think we'll win. I think we're strong enough to keep a clean sheet. So I will go for 2-0.
Paul is positive, and Paul's normally the wary one, Andrew. I mean, he normally chucks a draw in sometimes. Right, so that is my prediction, that is Andrew's prediction, and that is Paul's prediction. Did you say your goal scorers?
I didn't say the goal scorers, so I'll go for Beto. I think Beto will get one, and I think we'll go Tarkowski again.
Oh, Beto and Tarkowski, I love it. That's my problem. I can see all 11 scoring. I could even give one to Pickford. Right, here we go. That's not being cocky. I just love Everton at the minute. We're on a high. I don't want to hate them ever again. Right. Paul, what have we got in the comments?
We've got lots. Lala reckons that we're going 3-0.
Love it.
She's always sticking with Taki for first goal. So you never know. Could be.
After that derby, I don't blame her.
Hazra is saying 2-1. Beto, Alcaraz, Fernandes for them. Eugene's in. You know what Eugene's is going to be? 4-1. Beto,
4-1. He always goes 4-1, Andrew. Like his predictions always 4-1. And it's going to happen at some point.
One day. It'll happen one day. David is a little bit more reserved. Gone for 1-1 there. Nick went 3-1 for us. Beto, Lindstrom, and Alcaraz.
I'm not going to do it with the boxing gloves this time, Paul, because I don't want to take
He went Hoyland for them. Hoyland? Is it Hoyland?
Yeah.
JT went 3-0, Beto hat-trick. Must have been getting the
I've gone mad.
Eugene
Beto
vibes.
got a hat trick.
3-0.
If Beto does a hat trick, you're doing a forfeit.
Yeah, I want that clipped, by the way. Where was the clip?
Yeah, I'll get it, don't worry.
Clarkey reckons 3-0, Beto, Garner, Gay, and O'Brien would be a good
O'Brien would be really good. I like that one.
Right.
O'Brien, I would like him on mine.
Pause has gone big. 4-2.
Ooh, Beto
Goals
times
galore.
2. Charlie,
Mikalenko.
Mikalenko. Yeah, nice.
Good. Hoyland
and Maguire for them.
Tazul reckons a 2-0, same as me. He's gone better on Lindstrom. You know what? Lindstrom getting his first goal, that would be, I'd be chuffed for him if we could do that. Lulu reckons 3-1. So she apologised, but she would like to compliment your curtains, which at first I thought was hair, but then realised it's actual curtains. So she reckons Tarky, Beto, Pickford, and Garnacho for them. And Paul's also just throws in at the end, Bruno red card, hopefully for spitting his dummy out. You know what? It could be a bit feisty in that middle. It could be.
It's going to be. It's going to be cards. Definitely going to be cards. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's going to be a referee game. This I feel. It's going to be feisty. Casemiro's a big tackler as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Blues has just arrived. He's gone for 2-1. Lindstrom, Branthwaite, Bruno for them. I am sounding like what bit the TalkSport voiceover. God. Scousey and he reckons 2-0. Beto and Tarkovsky. Wisest people go for that one as well. Moyes, he'll take players off when we've scored 2. I wouldn't mind scoring 2 first. That'd be good. Fanzin, he reckons 4-0. Why not? Dex reckons. Oh, sorry, where's Dex gone? Beto 2, United nothing, which I like.
Bit harsh to put nothing. You could have just put 0. It feels like you rubbed it in by making it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Lulu's across the water, so she's got to get up early for the kickoff. But JT reckons it wouldn't be surprised if Casemiro picks up a red. Could be, but everyone's quite positive at the moment.
Thanks everyone for getting your score predictions. And I think when you see that many comments coming in, it just makes us realise that the show's doing really well and that we go live for a big purpose to bring all of us together before and after the games. We do try and get opposition fan on because I just think it's better to get an insight of how it feels as a Man United fan.
Yeah, definitely.
I like a bit of banter in the rivalry as well. I think we've had that. And it just gives you a complete show. What better to put the fans head-to-head before we go head-to-head tomorrow? Early kickoff as well, people. So it's going to be a cracker. Andrew, I've been on the channel that you go on quite a bit as well. Give them a shout-out and give yourself a shout-out where people can find you. Give your channel a shout-out, as we always do. Plug yourself.
Just to say, you can find my X handles, Andrew_War, and then you can find me on All for United as well. So do a bit of writing for Stretford Paddock. So I've done a preview for the Everton game, so that's up now. So yeah, just on that comment was just brought up what I think about certain players as well. Just like into the once Bruno out the door immediately. No way. I don't want Bruno out at all. Bloody, I was going to say. We'd be without Bruno. Where would we have been the last few years? He's literally been the heartbeat of the team. So Onana, he's sort of a bit regressed in the last few weeks. Say Bandy, who's coming for the cup games, he's been he's been much better. Xerxes. A while back he wasn't in great form, and then there's that game against Newcastle where he got substituted and the ironic cheers in the ground. And
he looks proper blasé, Andrew, doesn't he, Xerxes? I mean, I've seen some blasé kind of laid back players before, but he's probably topping it at the moment.
Doing that Newcastle game, it was 2-0 and he came and it was ironic cheating and booze. I didn't agree with the booze. That was didn't agree with it. And then you could see him walk, because he came off and he started walking down towards the tunnel. I thought, oh, he must be injured, because usually when players start walking down, but then he came back out. I was like, oh, he wasn't injured. He just probably nice not hearing that. But since then, I mean, when we beat Arsenal in the FA Cup and he scored, I thought it just had to be him, and he just proved a lot of people wrong. And it's someone like Højlund and Xerxes, their form sort of switched around. It's like Højlund's not finding anything at the moment, but Xerxes, he's playing decent. But
I was just going to say, I still need to get the Everton out of me, because like we are better, and I want to believe this is us now. But when Paul just says something about Xerxes, I'm thinking I don't want to say anything bad about any of United's players because they're going to score against me. Just those old Everton scores where you say this player hasn't scored in for this team ever, and then boom, he scores when he's like 17 or something like that. And that's how Everton have been for the last 3, 4, 5, probably 10 years. And I've still got those scars, and I need them to heal and go. I don't want to say anything about Højlund or Fernandes or Xerxes. I just want to get this bloody game done. Because Man United have won those cursed teams, ain't they? Fernandes, on the comment, what you said, Fernandes, I mean, as much as I hate him and he's a shit house, and that's what football's about. You're supposed to hate players that don't play for your team. Not necessarily hate, but not like them. And Fernandes is, I don't want to say anything nice about him here, but he is Manchester United. He's the roots that you'd want to build around for me. Do you know what I mean?
He cares.
Yeah, he's got a personality, and that's what you need.
And you look at some of those other players, you think something I read, it's like sometimes players, what can they get out of the club rather than what they can do for the club? I'm like,
well, we've got one, Andrew. That's do you know where we spoke? Everton have picked up. The reason for me that Everton have picked up has been because of a few players, but because of mainly one player, and that's a player that's injured, Iliman Ndiaye. And Iliman Ndiaye is a player that he just turns up. He'll spark. He wants to win. He ain't scared of nothing, and he can get you that goal from nothing. Iliman Ndiaye and Iliman Ndiaye's picked our whole team up and said, "What are you scared for? Just be confident. I could win games by myself." And I think Fernandes is the same for you. I think he's that type of player as well that can score from nothing or just pop up and do something incredible. So it's going to be a good game. I'm still scared of this. Don't underestimate it, Everton fans. I hate people saying that we're favourites. I really do, because yes, we are in form, but let's just see. Let's just bloody see. This is a big game. Can you see where I'm coming from, though, Andrew? I hate being an underdog, especially against Man United. It feels expected to win, and you being the underdog, it feels weird.
I say you are the slight favourites, and we're either giving our form and the upset.
No, shut up. No, we're not.
No, not having it. Not having it.
Well, that's what the pundits would say.
Reverse psychology.
But I say it's going to be a cracking game at Goodison tomorrow. So it's the last trip for United to take there. And we said backstage, it's going to be sad when Goodison Park finally closes at the end of the season. So I've been lucky enough to be in the away end twice. So it's just like, it's one of those old school grounds. It's just like compact, and you're on top of each other. So it's like, yeah. So
it is getting real now. It is getting real. I mean, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, you got your new stadium, because you did play that game on Monday night against, I can't remember, was it Wigan? I think it was the under-8. But from what I was hearing, people said they like the new stadium, but just like, you can't beat Goodison Park as well. So, like, with us in Old Trafford, what's going to be next for Old Trafford? Either redevelop or a new one. I'm just thinking if Old Trafford does go and it's a new one, it'll be sad for me in several years when we say goodbye to it as well.
Yeah, it'll take time.
Yeah, until you actually say bye to Goodison Park, you know that you've got to say bye to Goodison Park. So I think even when you go in the new stadium now, like they've got 10,000 in to trial it, you've got to say bye to Goodison Park. It feels like you're cheating. You've got to say bye to Goodison Park first, and then it's gone, and then the new stadium. I always say this. Some people are moaning about little things on the new stadium. When you move into a house, it's not your house straight away. You buy something, you put it there, you put it there, you put it there. You get it better and better. And after 2-3 years, it'll be a home and you'll have it perfect and you'll feel comfortable. And I think that's what it's going to be like with a new stadium. There's going to be loads of trial and error. There's going to be little things added. It's not going to be perfect straight away, but it does bloody look perfect, to tell you that for sure. But little things inside will need doing, so I think we need to give it time. But yeah, I'm really excited for this game. Massive game. Goodison Park as well, as we've just said. Thanks everyone for listening. Do hit that like and subscribe. We've gave Andrew the plug. Thanks for coming on, Andrew. I am going to drop the banner now with the Everton music and the Everton video. Up the top is everyone. Big game tomorrow. Early kickoff. A few people saying red cards as well, so it's going to be a mad one apparently, according to the subs, Paul. Here we go. A bit of Everton music.